Hello and welcome to the Week 5 edition of the Monster Pod here on thelines.com. Matt Brown, Steven Anders. Joined this week, Ryan Noonan from 4 for 4. Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. This is all the way out to 7 and a hook at most places. You can still find couple of expensive 7s out there. 49.5 to 50 is our total. About maybe the healthiest version of the 49ers we've seen heading into this one in a while, considering now Christian McCaffrey's come out and said we might not see him until the middle of November or whatever, all the stuff that's going on. I don't know. I think we might have to maybe consider a world in which we don't have Christian McCaffrey out there for the 49ers this season. And so get to a mindset of what that looks like with everything. Cardinals, good enough on offense, absolutely atrocious on defense. They do get McBride back this week, so that should help at least a little bit with all of this. It's interesting, though. Anytime a game gets on the other side of a touchdown in the year of our Lord 2024, I just start to wonder at least a little bit as to how this is all going to go down, Ryan. As we look here, 7.5. Like I said, there is a flat 7 out there if you look around.
Yeah, and then that's it. Is just the half. It just opens up some backdoor stuff because there is a pulse to this Cardinals offense, and I think this is a great spot. Again, another one where we kind of climb up to the high 40s. We're touching 50-ish, and it's really hard to want to take an over. But I think that's probably my favorite play here. There's not a lot that's changed in terms of defensive defensive lineup for the Cardinals from last year. And last year in these two matchups, again, they don't have CMC, but the rest of it is pretty much the same here too. And you said they're getting healthy. Jordan Mason's been really good. Niners scored 35 and 45 against the Cardinals last year. And I think there's a lot of actual upside to the Niners that we haven't even seen, which is really weird. We know the kind of the MO of this Shanahan offense has been yards after the catch. It's kind of how their bread and butter. It's I think how they draft and how they develop at the position at wide receiver. George Kittle, always one of the best yak tight ends in the league. They are comfortably dead last in yards after the catch this season, which is strange, which kind of speaks to how well Brock Purdy is really playing, continuing to kind of push this team vertically down the field. And so I think there's some upside with this Niners offense. So, Niners team total is interesting, but again, because I think there are some questions in terms of how the Niners can defend the run. I think the Javon Hargrave loss up front for them is a problem. We have some questions whether or not Fred Warner is going to be active in this game. So I think that they're going to have, Cardinals get McBride back. So again, they continue to maybe have a little bit more upside. I think they're going to be able to run the football a little bit here too. And if they're in a spot where they're forced to chase a little bit and have to play a little bit more vertically, I do think the 49.5 is probably still a little bit light, even though that's higher than we typically see.
Steven, if I had to get your power ratings on the top 5 quarterbacks who play at their best when they have to run around with their hair on fire, I think Kyler Murray would at least be in the top 3 of all of those. And that's why the hook scares me. If it is fourth quarter and, there's 6 minutes left in the game, nobody is going to go get the meaningless, doesn't matter except for anything but to break your spread bet, touchdown other than Kyler Murray. The dude is just so great at breaking hearts when it comes to stuff like that. That's the only thing that scares me a little bit. I will say this. If I could buy futures, this is where you start to buy the stock right in San Francisco. I think that they're starting to get a little bit healthier. Like you said, Ryan, Mason's filled in fine, right? So McCaffrey's at this point comes back and it's almost like just more of a cherry on top than it is like this added necessary need. I think San Francisco can kind of be on the run here to where we're talking about them 3 weeks from now. It's kind of comfortably the best team in the NFL, where we don't really have that right now to really can't really go in and comfortably say that about anyone. But I think the 49ers about 3 weeks away from us being able to say that. Steven, what do you think about this one?
All right, couple things. Ryan mentioned a long shot earlier on the pod. I got one here. I agree that I think it is in the range of outcomes now that Christian McCaffrey doesn't come back. The new reporting this week is Achilles tendonitis in both legs. They need to ramp him up to see how the legs respond, which to me sounds like they are not certain that he will be healthy enough to come back. So if that's the case, then Jordan Mason 100-1 for Offensive Player of the Year is possible because he's a bell cow. And as we record right now, he's only 33 yards behind Derrick Henry for the league lead in rushing. And we know this offense is capable of producing the offensive player of the year. They just did it last year. So what I would suggest is if you're out there and you have bonus bets in your account, I think this is a great place to put them, because if McCaffrey does come back, obviously the bet is an instant zero, right? Mm-hmm. So if you use bonus bets, then you didn't lose any real money on it potentially. So I think he's live if McCaffrey comes back. And I think this week, the chances of him not coming back have increased. So that's first of all. As for the game, I have zero interest in the Arizona Cardinals. I don't understand the price with this team in the market. I didn't understand it last week. I thought the spread was ridiculous. Made some money on the Commanders. It just zero interest in this team. These two teams are in different classes with each other. If we adjust for garbage time, which I think is essential with the Cardinals because they have that fake game against the Rams in their sample, we are looking at an Arizona offense that is 21st by EPA per play and 22nd by success rate. Over the huge sample of Kyler Murray's career, he is a below average quarterback by the advanced metrics. And I do think there is some 49ers fatigue in the market right now with everybody trying to find the new hot team in the NFC who's going to dethrone the 49ers. If we adjust for garbage time again, the San Francisco defense is actually third in EPA per play allowed and first in success rate. This is a horrible matchup for the Arizona Cardinals offense, in my opinion. And it's a great matchup for the 49ers offense because the Cardinals, again, adjusted for garbage time, are dead last in success rate allowed. So listen, Matt, 7.5, I get the conversation over a touchdown. As we record here, I'd be fine paying minus 115 on a Niners minus 7. If you still aren't comfortable laying that, just tease the 49ers.
Yeah. America's teaser leg. This is America's teaser leg this week. Like America, get behind it. Don't be left out. Like you're going to want to hear your people at the water cooler on Monday talking about, hey man, America's teaser cash this week. And you're like, shit, I didn't play America's teaser. This is it. This is America's teaser leg this week.
Yeah. I don't full context. The preseason look ahead line on this game was 9.5. And since then, the Niners have lost a couple games they probably weren't supposed to. There was some flukiness in that Rams loss. The Cardinals have, for whatever reason, been upgraded in the market off the preseason. Like, just know that coming into the season with still some bullishness on the Cardinals and obviously the Niners, same respect, mostly still being there. The spread was 9.5. It's 7.5 now. I actually think this is a discount on the 49ers this week.
One of the things I think this is a good time to kind of bring up is, teaser prices have gotten kind of out of control, but since they will let you parlay alt spreads now, I think that this is a way that you can go in and still get the desired result without having to pay out the ass for like the traditional teaser leg or something. So I'm just putting together one right now as an example, and then we can kind of go in and see. But okay, for example, like let's just take the Niners down to 2.5 as opposed to down to 1.5, because I mean, sure, I guess the 2 could hit every now and then, but really we're just trying to get through on the other side of the field goal, right? So you could take the Niners down to 2.5 and the Seahawks down to 2.5, and that's minus 109 as opposed to the minus 130, minus 125, minus, that you're having to pay on a lot of these. And there's some that if you just wanted to move them down even less and say it's a 7, you move it down to, you're not taking the full 6, you're taking only 4, you're taking only 5. You can even get plus money on some of these sometimes as well. So I've started doing that. Like we'll always refer to it as teasers, but I think that's more now for me. And I've explained this on a couple other pieces of programming that I do. Basically, all I'm saying is I might do some line manipulation with that game, but that doesn't necessarily mean like I'm going to go in and take the full 6 on a teaser, because a lot of these sites have made it to where it's very tough to do that from a pricing standpoint. So I would say always go around and dick around with the alt lines and just like maybe parlay alt lines.
Yeah. I mean, we use it, in our prop podcast on Friday afternoons, 4for4 Bets YouTube channel, uncorrelated parlays, because they're priced in. The algorithm is like docking you so much on correlated things. But when you take things that don't work, like we've done it last week, we hit on Xavier Worthy under receptions, over adjusted receiving line, right? Big play guys. You could do the opposite with like low A dot receivers, because the pricing algorithm like is it freaks out. So something is so simple like that,
Right.
just the 2 legs, you can get up to 7, 8 to 1 on some of these things because they're uncorrelated and the pricing algorithm kind of breaks the other way. So yeah, like leveraging in that, like that way, I think is so smart, Matt. It's a good call.
I'm going to go in because to get a push notification here. I know sometimes we chop these games up, and so this is going to be out of context to a lot of people out there, but McDermott just said Ed Oliver, Khalil Shakir, Austin Johnson, Taylor Rapp, all out for the Bills on Sunday. So that is official for all 4 of those guys being out for that Bills team. So going to be a lot of walking wounded out there for the Bills versus the Texans. All right, guys, everything you do absolutely free. Do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section. Steven will go in. He'll read them. Like what did we get right? What did we get wrong? Let us know. And of course, you want to continue the discussion. Upper right-hand corner of thelions.com is the Discord. You can go in there, chat football, every single sport, actually, all year around. If you've not checked out 4for4 yet, head over to 4for4. Go in. You can use it not only for your sports betting, you can use it for your fantasy sports and your DFS and everything like that. So be sure, 4for4.com. Thanks, Ryan, for being with us as well. For Steven, I'm Matt. Good luck on all your Week 5 bets.